What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Familiars.
Huzzah!
We are a bunch of semi-working actors that are bringing you a long-form improvised story using the rules of Dungeons and Dragons. We are so psyched to have you back. We are so psyched to have you watching, and we're so psyched to have you listening if you're listening to the podcast. We are finding ourselves once again in quite the precarious situation here. But before we get started, I would sure like to introduce my friends. First and foremost, we have Alex Hendrickson playing Rooster, our Dragonborn Barbarian. We have Ben Horner playing Captain Chowder, a Warforged Sorcerer. We have Austin Durant playing Thibodeau, our human bard. We have Annalise Lawson playing Worthy!
Hey!
Our Tiefling Cleric. We're having her really quickly before she has to go back to rehearsal. And joining us to play non-player characters, we have Zach Appleman playing John Doherty, being played by a delightful bunny. Beautiful little bunny here. We are The Familiars, and today, very specially, again, we have Josh Legg, a.k.a. Goldroom, right
Lucky
next to
us.
me. Lucky us. Doing our live scoring. But before we get started here, I think that we should catch our audience up and ourselves up with a bit of a recap. So, Familiars. The group had rested as best they could at North Furrow's End, knowing that the reanimated tree Liferless was standing watch. But the adrenaline of battle, combined with the strange sensation of having celebrated here with Miros and Orin not 12 hours ago, brought restless sleep. They met Maxine and the abbot downstairs. The day had been quiet thus far, but they knew that the remaining forces of the giants and their goblinoid crew were regrouping in the woods to the southwest of the main gates of Goldenfields. Plans were discussed, and then interrupted as Strogg, the captain of the guard, brought Shalvus Martholio herself, the Zentarum operative, hands tied before you. You learned that a message had been sent to someone at Barge Right Inn, and that, as best you could discern, you had only a few days' lead on the Zentarum's pursuit of you. So, Familiars, we find ourselves currently in the tavern of North Furrow's End, gathered around the table, Shalvus still recovering from the Toll of the Dead, I believe, spell cast by Worthy, trying to shake it off, sitting before you.
He kind of looks at her hands and kind of like, and sort of just like, I need to take a step back. This is not how I'm supposed to use this power that's been granted to me. I need to go pray. I'm sorry, but I need to go pray. I'm no use to you right now.
You sure you don't want another pint of golden gut? Maybe,
and that just kind of like makes Worthy be like remembering Orin and Miros just the night before, and is just like, I think I'm done with good times for now. And Worthy just stalks off and goes to a side room and just like slams the door shut. Like,
well, she's hurt right now.
All right, well, we got work to do here.
Yeah, what do you want to do, other captain? What do you want us to call you? General? Lord? Lord, right?
Sire?
Sire Thibodeau.
Lord Thibodeau? Sir Thibodeau. Sir Thibodeau.
Sir
There we
Thibodeau.
go. Yeah, that sounds right.
Sir Thibodeau?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sir Thibodeau.
Sir Thibodeau.
What do you want us to do? What was that?
It's at this point that the door opens, and in walks a relatively tall, what looks to be half-elf. And this half-elf has a bow slung over his shoulder, and he has palish, sort of sallow skin with tight cropped hair on the sides and a long hair on top tied with a ponytail, and you can see that his ears just have slight points at the top of them. Dressed in leather armor, and looks to be having just returned from the wilderness. And this character walks forward and introduces himself to the group.
He slams his bow down on the table, and he goes, Miros! And he waits for a reply, and he sort of looks up, expecting to see the old bartender, and he looks confused. And he shouts again one more time, Miros!
You can save your breath, traveler. Miros has passed. Bravely, but passed.
And he's
I'm Captain Chowder.
When did he pass?
Oh, not like an hour ago, right, DM?
This is it's about 4 or 5 o'clock. You guys had a rest during the day. Miros passed this morning, but it's been a hazy 24 hours.
Very recently. Last night, this morning, there was a battle, and I feel...
Yeah, I know there was a bloody battle. When did he pass?
I'll say this morning, right, gang?
That's
The
right.
abbot steps forward and says, yes, this morning. Group, I'd like to introduce Jestán. Jestán has been helping us gain information about the goings-on in the wilds surrounding Golden Fields. Jestán, and the abbot steps forward to you, Jestán. Miros and
He sort of he bows his head for a moment and just sort of sighs and says Miros's name. He goes, Gah, he was a cheap bastard. Watered down the golden gulp. But he was a good man and a good friend.
Anybody looking at Maxine sees a tear rolling down the side of her cheek.
Sorry for your loss there, Jestán. He fought bravely.
Who are you folks?
We're,
They call us the familiars. My
That's
name is
right.
Rooster. This is Sir Thibodeau. He is in charge here now. And Captain Chowder, great right-hand man, wonderful friend. Worthy is in mourning and praying and having a bit of a crisis. So she's upstairs in her room. And do you have any information for us? Because we have about 5 giants, 30 bugbears, and a shit ton of other guys right out the wall. And I don't feel like we have much time for feeling talking right now.
Well, there's a few giants less than there were before. Large group of them outside in the encampment's been mourning.
mourning.
They're mourning the ones of theirs who've been slain. Would you know anything about that?
Yes.
Well, we did the slaying. Yes.
You three.
A few more.
And
Maxine.
Miros.
Did you know
Oros. There was a little guy named Orin. Real small, very spirited, and
Very
just
sneaky.
brave as a darn tack.
Well, anyone who's slain a giant is welcome here as far as I'm concerned. And he sort of takes off his boots and starts shaking out some of the dirt. throws them to the side and walks around to the side of the bar and pours himself a drink.
Well, Justin, you were saying if
I believe it's Jestán.
Gaston, if you're saying the giants are mourning outside the walls, are they? Is this some sort of a ceremony? Does it take time? Would this be a opportune time for an ambush, or is that foolhardy? You seem to know a bit about these big lummoxes.
There's 3 camps outside the town. 2 hill giants, 4 ogres, 6 or 7 bugbears between them.
Good night.
I've been monitoring them for weeks. The abbot can tell you more.
The abbot steps forward and says, we had reports of increased activity from Jestán, but I can say that I was overly optimistic. Rarely do they ever think to make any sort of attack on Goldenfield itself. The walls are too strong, too high, and usually the Lord's Alliance does a fair job defending the surrounding towns. That being said, I think the time for action has come. And Maxine steps forward and says, yes, I agree. I believe that with the information that Jestán has given us, we have enough to carry out the plan. And she looks to you, Thibodeau, and says, Sir Thibodeau, if you think that the time is right, are we moving forward with the plan to poison the livestock, or are we going to do something else? We defer to you.
Well, I think if we're all in agreement, we should continue with the poison the livestock and lay a trap for these giants.
Love the plan. Don't want to muddy the waters. Let me just ask, with this new information, Jestán, I have a block. It's not you. It's not even me. I'm gonna say it's my circuitry. But might they be retreating? They're outside the walls. What I'm asking is, should we attack, or should we do nothing and let them just be on their way?
You obviously don't know hill giants. When hill giants mourn, they don't just sit and keen and wail like you folks do. They want revenge. You 3 or 4, however many of you there are, you killed one of theirs, and they're going to be coming back. They're going to be coming back soon.
Right.
So if you have plans to poison them or attack them or ambush them, I'd do it now, and I'd do it soon, and I'd do it without delay.
Let's do it now.
Well, let's hop to it.
Do you have Golden Gulp? How many kegs are in the back here?
The abbot steps forward and says, not too many here. I believe that Miros tried to keep the brews fresh, but I'm sure that there are plenty of barrels at the brewery. It's just up the road, not far.
And how many sheep, cows, this sort of thing do we have? Maybe that are
the bovine
older.
count.
Yeah, what's the bovine? What is the hooved animal count in the city?
We here at Golden Fields do take pride in providing much of the stored food supply of the north. We have many cattle, many cattle and sheep ready to be. I still, I guess,
looking for a number, Abbott.
Yes, enough. He does some mental calculation and says, I believe that we could probably provide 50 to 100 sheep, and similar numbers of cattle. It would leave us very few in reserve, but maybe the Sword Coast could just, go vegetarian for a while. It's something that I personally would prefer.
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt him. Listen, let's corral all these animals outside the, the western gate there.
Oh, the south. Are you talking about the main gate? Yes, it's to the southeast.
Southeast.
Southwest. What am I
Southwest.
thinking? I haven't slept much at all.
Maybe you
Yes.
should eat more meat, Abbott.
We'll need a wagon full of Golden Gulp, a couple casks, and we gotta go puke this Dragonborn.
Okay, anything for my friends.
Okay, so the plan is you, Rooster, are going to go head to the brewery to expend a lot of poison into barrels of Golden Gulp, yes?
Yeah.
Yes,
Great.
but what I would like to do is, I don't want them to taste it, so I'm going to puke into smaller glass and then put them into the Golden Gulp, so that when they take the whole thing, they don't taste the poison.
Great. Okay, cool plan. All right. So then,
Like Miro said, I use my noggin.
Yeah, right? Keep your head on a swivel. Use your
Keep
noggin.
your head on a swivel and use your noggin. R.I.P. Miros.
Rips Miros. And then with the livestock, is that just going to be part of the
I think it's
delivery?
maybe just to entice them in,
Okay. Great.
Yeah, get the old ones, but like maybe make them look a little fresher. Give them a nice haircut.
Okay, and
Yeah.
are you trying to bring these to the camps that are about a half mile outside of Golden Fields, or are you trying to lure the
Out.
Okay, you're bringing it to the camps.
Chivas is gonna lead the.
Shalvus.
Shalvus is gonna be giving the gifts. Isn't that right?
Shalvus.
You can't make me. You can't make me. I'm not doing that.
Quiet.
That's
Quiet.
suicide.
See about that. All right.
Yeah, we need Worthy. Unfortunately, you made her so upset. You stupid.
Well, is there any possibility that we can lure them to us? Maybe light a campfire outside the wall, make it seem like there's something going on. They're a mile away, you said?
Half mile.
Half mile.
What if the Okay, I once, as a young rooster, was a performer. I was not very good, but what if we pretend to be celebrating with this Golden Gulp and this feast because we killed the giants and we feel happy now? So then the giants will get angry and come forward, and we can have like shooters on the thing and like shooting down like the fish in the bucket.
I think that's a good idea there, Rooster.
Oh wow, okay, this is a big moment for me. Cap, did you see that?
I did it right here. Love
Okay,
what I saw.
Thanks. I just need some positive reinforcement.
Jestán, who's been sort of behind the bar, just kind of scrounging for supplies. He's found some stashes of dried meat that he's putting in his bag, and he's refilling his canteen with wine and water. Just sort of pipes up from behind, and he says, "The giants have been feeding non-stop. They've been searching for food more than any of them could eat. I don't know why. If you bring those beasts anywhere near, they'll smell them and they'll find them, and they'll come straight to you."
You know
So
why.
let's take ourselves out of the equation then to be safe. Let's just leave it outside the gates. We close the door and let them, let them bring the poison home. So
I think that's a good idea.
Sir Thibodeau, give us our instructions.
Rooster, I need you to poison the Golden Gulp as best you can. Get as much of that stuff out of you and into that booze as you can.
I am full of stuff.
Captain, I'm going to need you up on the wall. Once we got those giants and ogres corralled, I want to see that fireball again.
Well, all right.
We'll whittle down their numbers.
I'm ready.
Ooh, go ahead and upchuck into that swill, Rooster.
Where?
Once we give them a good scare, hopefully they'll grab what's left of the loot and head back to their chief. Then we can follow him, give him chase, and put an end to this whole thing.
Dope.
All right.
Okay, says the
Would,
abbot.
I'll just ask. Might an attack as they approach the mutton, could that instigate them just starting to pound on the walls, attacking us? Maybe would they?
If they start eating, then we attack. But if they take it to go, we follow.
Okay. Geston, do you know, would they
course.
favor eating or revenge more?
They're simple creatures.
Yes.
They're distracted quite easily. If you put those beasts in their way, whatever they're coming to do, they'll take them. They'll eat some of them and they'll take the rest. I don't know where they're bringing them, but they're taking them somewhere.
All right. Okay. So if they stay and wanna dance, we'll dance with the thinned numbers. Let the poison do a little wet work while we burn them to the ground. And if they take the mutton home, then we can just enjoy the knowledge that they're all dying in agony in their caves or townhouses.
Well, the thing is, we know where they're
Caves.
taking it. They're taking it to feed GUH. They're taking it to feed their chief. If we can take her out while she's poisoned, we can put an end to this whole problem, and we'll be heroes. We'll be made men.
Okay, cut the head off the little
roosters.
snake. Yeah, oh they and roosters.
And roosters.
Thank you.
And Jestán finishes assembling his supplies from behind the bar, and he puts his pack over his shoulder, and he just says, "Hey, Abbott, I'm done here. I'll take my coin and be gone."
Oh,
No, you fucking won't. Are you kidding?
what weapon does Justin seem to be working
Bow?
with?
You see a bow
There's a
slung
bow.
over his shoulder and two short swords, one on either hip.
Oh, actually, just on before you hastily leave, well, we could certainly use your expertise for this battle, and I reach back and slide out the oath bow. I'm almost certain you've heard of the great oath bow of Albranthier the Wise. Do I have that right?
That's
Just
the right
on.
name. Oh,
He sort of takes a look at the bow. It's a fine bow, but it's not my fight. And he gives the bow back, and he puts his hand out for the coins from the abbot, and he says, "My payment."
The abbot steps forward and says, "Well, yes, Jestán. I believe that if we were to double your payment, would you consider staying with us at least up on the wall, providing cover with your bow, possibly this one?"
He looks at the bow one more time, and he says, "Double. Aye."
Okay.
Sounds
Yes.
fair to me, right, Abbott?
Yes, it does.
Sounds fair. The bow would be on loan.
Right. Yes, of course. Yes. No. Jestán would give the bow back. I would just give Jestán more money.
Long loan. Generous terms.
Are we agreed?
Aye.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, just on.
And then I look at Shalvus and I say, that leaves you. Like Captain said, we're gonna need you to deliver this little party to just outside the gates.
I told you, I'm not doing nothing. And at that point, you hear a door open above, and Worthy walks down. Her hands come up, and she casts thaumaturgy. The whole ground begins to shake. All of the windows burst open, and this deep, booming voice says, Shalvus, you will do anything that we tell you. Is that clear? Shalvus looks up and says, all right, crazy fuck. Wait. All right, you crazy fuck.
There we go.
What do you want me to do? Look, I'll do what you say. I'll even fight for you. Fuck it. But after we're done, let me go. I'm done with this whole thing. I won't work for the Zentarum. I won't work for the Lord's Alliance. I won't work for the Wandering Ghosts. I just want out. The whole thing.
I'll tell you what, Jimus. I think we could make that deal. You wheel out these sheep and ale, then I want you to run straight towards that giant encampment, waving your arms and screaming, and once you get their attention, you can do whatever you want, but you can seek solace, peace, justice on our own, but the familiars will be done with you. Otherwise, we're gonna tie you to that wagon.
And I pull out 50 feet of hempen rope from my pack.
Cap, go ahead and make an intimidation check with advantage. All right. Shalvus says, okay, fuck it. All right, let's go. And the abbot steps forward and says, okay, this sounds like a plan. Maxine says, I think it might work. I think this could work. And she looks to you, Thibodeau, and says, are we ready?
Let's do it.
Great. So everyone scatters.
Montage.
Rooster, you head to the Golden Gulp Brewery. You just start trying to, heave up poison. And you make your way to the Golden Gulp. Okay, we get it. And you make your way to the brewery, and you, as you're making your way north through Golden Fields, you see that the Golden Gulp Brewery is this beautiful old wooden 2-story building that around it had this beautiful, well-kept garden that just seems to have been tended to with care over time, and the smell of barley and wheat fills the air as you walk in and see two quite sad attendants trying to get more of the beer out of the into the kegs to make the delivery. You let them know what the plan is and begin. Let's say that go ahead and make. I'm gonna say a sleight of. Oh, you get to choose. You either get to use sleight of hand, Arcana, or a nature check to try to get the poison into the barrels and successfully feel like it's not going to burst out or to get the product that you want. So, but you get to choose.
Arcana.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, God.
Nice.
That is a 17 plus 3, a 20. Thank you.
That's a 20. Excellent.
That plays.
Okay. As you guys are, Rooster makes their way out of the tavern, and then Strog comes up to you, Thibodeau, and says, Sir Thibodeau, I would like to help in procuring the livestock, but I can say that I am not so good with animals. Is there one of you that might be able to help with the effort?
You know, I've always had a talent with animals. In fact, well, in a way, I am one. I'll help out. Doodoo, you come along too. Doodoo puts them at ease.
All right. Well,
And I sort of say, I can help with that too.
Thank you, Jestán.
thank you.
All right, well, have at it.
Right. Okay. So, let's say Captain Chowder and Jestán both make animal handling checks.
Captain rolled a 10.
Captain rolled a 10.
All right, it's in God,
skills.
damn. Skills. There we go.
Right up there at the top of the other
Yep.
A's.
Who has that animal handling potion or whatever it is?
Worthy has it in.
Oh, Worthy
his
has it.
bag.
Did that roll come through? I rolled a 23.
Nice.
23. We believe you. So, the two of you make it to the... Well, we're going to move Captain over here. The livestock pens. And begin to corral the sheep and the cattle into the separate holding pens. It takes a little while. Cap Doodoo flies around the sheep, trying to guide them towards you. At first, they are a bit standoffish of this large panda construct, but eventually, through the warmth of your warforged heart, they begin to make their way into the pens. Jestán, you look over, is just adept at guiding just a massive amount of cattle. It takes a bit of time, but almost without effort, into the pens. Rooster, you are up at the Golden Gulp Brewery, and these miniatures here are just to mark where the wall fell and is being repaired. This is where the tunnels are, and this is where the giants
That's
are.
a really big giant.
Yes. All right.
Oh, wow.
So, Thibodeau, you go back and forth between the two spots, just overseeing, making sure everything is solid, and you feel a tap on your shoulder, and you see Strog behind you again, and says, "Sir, Jestán has let me know that there is a fairly large force that could, if this plan goes a way that we're not hoping, attack. May I humbly suggest that we split our forces here at Golden Fields into requisite battalions, as it were. You leading the familiars and possibly the abbot and Jestán, and maybe Z, if you remember, leading another force, and, I don't know, someone else directing a third. But we would, of course, defer to you, looking to you for inspiration as we go forth. You now have the plan ready to go. Shalvus is walking forward out of the tavern towards the gate, and you can see now that the inhabitants of Golden Fields are starting to come out of their homes. As you walk out of the tavern, you can still see that there are many bodies strewn about the town center, folks tending to them, but most of them now are wrapped in the same white cloth that you saw Miros and Orin wrapped in. But folks stop what they're doing and look up as the familiars begin to walk through town. And you hear a couple of shouts of praise, of just prayers being tossed your way, and you all make it to the livestock pens now, where Jestán and Captain have the livestock ready. Rooster wiping their maw to get the last bits of their poison out.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel pretty sick to my stomach from just trying to make those noises earlier, so I can't imagine what Rooster's going through.
Yeah, we give you the full experience on the podcast. Listen, be sure to we'll put that in full Dolby stereo for you. But that being said, Rooster behind them is being followed by two mules carrying a very large wagon filled with barrels that all have the stamp Golden Gulp Ale on top of them as you make your way towards the gates.
Oh, has anyone seen Maxine?
Maxine at the moment doesn't seem to be with you, but as you approach the gates, you see her speaking with Z, trying to just what looks to be make sure that everybody's on the same page. Z comes up to you, Thibodeau, and looks at you and says, "Sir, are you sure that you want Strog to be heading up the secondary or tertiary force today?"
I think, what do you think?
He looks at Strog, and you can see Strog trying not to listen to your conversation, kind of directing a few of the guard that have all now assembled. And around you, basically now, there are more and more folk assembling. And this is different folk than you would see, sort of working throughout Golden Fields. These are folk that are wearing leather armor, scale mail. People are counting arrows and putting them in quivers. You can see a couple of folk just sharpening their swords. And Strog is walking sort of, from camp to camp, as it were. Inspecting things. And Thibodeau, you see, Thibodeau, make an insight check. A 20.
17
Dirty 20.
Plus 3.
Dirty 20.
Thibodeau, you see a man in Strog that at one point saw a fair amount of battle. And you see a man that had lost his edge. And you see a man with a lot to prove. And Z looks back at you and says, I don't know. At one point he had something, but I don't know if some people will follow him.
Well, let me just get one thing clear. Strog and this outfit are gonna keep an eye on the southeastern wall where the breach is that right?
Southeastern wall, yeah.
I don't think there's anyone better suited to go toe-to-toe with an army of goblins and bugbears and ogres and giants and Strogg. But listen here, Z. If you want to get a crack team together and go down in the tunnels and make sure there's not another breach there, that'd be a huge help. Put my mind at ease. You
Good
think you
idea.
can do that?
Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah. Okay. I get my pick of men and women?
That's right.
Okay. All right, and Z goes off. So Strogg is going to be manning the breach. Z is heading down into the tunnels. You all approach the gate. And basically it is again, as you saw when you approached, this is a large stone edifice, and the walls of Golden Fields on either side go for, almost out of sight. So far, I'd say 2 miles on either side. And there's a large oak and iron portcullis that is down, but that you can see through. And right now, as you look through it, there is just the rolling hills of the surrounding area of Golden Fields and small stands of trees. But you look up and you can see that guards up on top of the ramparts seem to be standing stock still. Naxine comes up to you and says, "You can't see them from here, but from atop the walls, just off to the southeast, you can see the trees moving when the giants move. They're not far off. I think that this plan might beckon them here." The abbot is up next to you and says, "Thibodeau, are we ready to raise the gate?"
If I may interject very quickly, Abbot,
Yes.
would you pray with me?
Yes, I think that
I
would
think
be
we
a
should
good
invoke
idea.
Malar, the god of the hunt, because we
Yes.
are hunting.
Yes.
Sure.
I-
Rooster, would you lead us in prayer?
Yes.
Um,
If that's okay, Sir Thibodeau?
Do I have to? What do I do?
No, nothing. Is it okay? I'm like, it's a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah,
okay.
sure.
The abbot calls out, "Folk of Golden Fields, we have lost many, but hope is not lost. The familiars, led by Ser Thibodeau, will lead us back to the dawn. Rooster has offered to lead us in prayer. Everyone, let's have a moment of silence and let Rooster lead us in an offering to the gods." And you see Rooster, everyone kneel.
And I'm gonna underscore Rooster's prayer and invoke the inspiring leader little feat or whatever it's called to give
Great.
everyone 8 temporary hit points.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
That's everyone present?
6 people, so all of us.
Maxine, you hearing this?
Yeah, and yeah.
Yes. Fantastic. This will be very helpful.
Very fulsome.
Okay, everybody ready?
Ready, Freddy.
Malar, you are the true god of the hunt. Like the deer in the forest, you run through the blood in our veins. You let us know when to live and when to die. And so, Malar, I pray that you look down on the Golden Field and the familiars, and you bless us with your hunt today. May our bows be straight in aim. May our golden gulp be poisonous in body. And may our friendships be like family. To death or to life. It rests with you. Amen.
Everyone, amen, 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 amen.
And a
You-
rooster. Sorry. I couldn't.
A rooster. Everyone laughs. And make sure you mark down on your character sheets that you all also get 8 temporary hit points.
Yeah, so
Now.
if you just go into hit point management and add 8 temporary.
The abbot looks to you, Thibodeau. Are we ready?
Open the gates!
And you see the portcullises open.
That was nice.
Now,
Is Shivas up on the mules now, like driving the mule wagon?
you look back and you can see a very scared Shalvus atop one of the mules.
Oh, you're muted, Ben.
I call out to Chivas. All right, do the right thing, Chivas. Remember, the road to redemption is paved with sacrifice. All right, good luck.
And I walk up to Shalvus, and I call forth from my satchel my little friend Gruyere, the rat,
Yeah, they know we're talking.
and I put Gruyere on the wagon next to Shalvus, and I say, "Don't worry, if things go really pear-shaped, we got you." And Gruyere crawls into Shalvus's pocket.
Fuck is this? Fucking rats, fucking mules. Let's just get this the fuck over with, all right?
It's a little ghost rat to keep you company.
Yeah, I'll give you a ghost rat. And she just sort of sticks her heel into the mule and says, "All right, let's go." And it jolts forward as the wagon makes its way out into the field beyond the wall, and the livestock follow. Okay, so you guys right now are behind the walls. Where would you like to position yourselves to watch all this go down?
I'd like to get up on the battlements.
Okay, Thibodeau's going up on the
Oh, where he
battlements. Okay,
As do I.
If I go to the battlements, does that affect my range?
Let's
see.
Hardcore
Actually, at that angle,
D&D
if it's a
rules.
right angle, it should actually give me a little bit more range. I'm gonna go up.
I'm not gonna break out a Pythagorean theorem right now, but I think you're gonna be good.
Actually, can I stay down and look through the closed gates?
The gates are open; they're like fully open.
I'm going up.
All right, great.
Should we close the gates?
Yeah, why are they open? Yeah, let's close them.
Okay.
Okay. Lower the gate!
Then I hang out behind the gate.
All right. Great. Fantastic.
And we only see their activity like through the rustle of the trees. We don't see
moment.
any bad guys out at the moment. Okay.
As you guys head up to the gates, you see that actually from up top, you can see a fair amount, and it is a beautiful afternoon evening, fairly clear, and to the north, you can see just the faint outlines of distant mountains, and you can see the Desserin River even as it winds its way from north to south. And surrounding Golden Fields, as you approached, you noticed this as well, of course, from Zephyros' Cloud Castle. There are not full forests as large as something like the High Forest, but there are these stands of trees and groves that grow into larger sort of wooded areas. And Maxine points and says, "Look, it's over there." And just in the distance, you can see that the wind is blowing gently across the plains here. And then you can see that there are trees that begin to move out of sync with the wind. You look down, and Shalvus has stopped in front of the gates of Golden Fields. And she steps off of her mule, sort of wades through the sheep and bovine contingent, and calls out, "All right, you giant fucks! We give up! We come with, an offering to appease you dipshit fucking giant ogre fucks. Go fuck yourselves, take your fucking food, and get the fuck out of here!"
Well, pretty salty, I say to Thibodeau.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
As you're looking at this grove, stand of trees, in the distance, you begin to hear and out of the trees you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No.
6 hill giants
Oh,
at their
God.
at around their
Oh, no.
hips. You see ogres coming out from around them. Bugbears, probably around 6 ogres, 8 bugbears, and just a swarm of goblins. At first count, you think maybe 40. As they...
Oh.
This is just a section of the force that you see.
Oh my god.
Okay. And does it seem like they're going towards the sheeps? They like that?
You
they do.
see the hill giants, 2 begin to move forward. And Shalvus is now dead stock silent,
He's fucked.
but standing firm.
Okay.
She looks up at you and just says, "This better fucking work." And the hill giants begin to move towards this just huge beast.
Okay.
And it's at this point that you hear, "No!" And one bugbear moves forward, and the hill giants look down. And the bugbear, in common, steps forward, and you see that this is a hulking, tall figure. I mean, small in comparison, of course, to the giants beside it, but it's wearing this like heavy breastplate with its scraggly orange fur just sticking out the sides, but it has just these rippling muscles carrying this gargantuan morning star in one hand, and it has a patch over one eye, and it steps forward and it says, "First, let me say that you're making the right decision. We, on behalf of the great Lord GUH, thank you for this offering. I would like to ask, what brought forward the change of heart? And Shalvus looks at the bugbear and says, I don't fucking know, ask him. And points up to you and looks to you, Thibodeau. Thibodeau, you are up top in the battlements. The bugbear seems to look up at you and says, Lord's Alliance, I see. Abbott! I see you couldn't defend yourself on your own. It makes sense. GUH is a powerful adversary. What say you, Sayer?
And I look over to Worthy and I ask for a little help and could I get a little bit of that thaumaturgy?
Right, yeah, sure.
And my voice rings out. I say, Hail! GUH! Chief of the Giants and leader of the New Ordning. We surrender the town of Goldenfield to the greatness of GUH. May GUH always be large and in charge. Take this offering as the first of many.
Absolutely.
To the bigness of GUH. May she always reign. That's it. Turn it off, Worthy. Turn it off.
Well said. Well said.
Thibodeau, make a deception check with advantage.
No. Oh, good. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Plus 10 or something.
Yep.
There we go. There we go. Ooh.
11.
That's an 11 on the first roll.
Let's try
There we
again.
go.
Ah, yes.
23.
23.
Now, we're going to have the the bugbear, make an insight check. I got to roll it dirty.
No.
Bugbear rolled a 19.
Any
Minus
any
1.
modifiers? Oh. Dummy. What a dummy, I say under my breath.
He looks up and says, "Wise words! Finally, the Lord's Alliance understands its place." He looks back and starts barking in Goblinoid. But anybody who speaks Goblinoid, I believe Jestán does, understands and says, "Take these! Anybody who eats any of them will meet the wrath of the dark beasts. Straight to GUH. Once we get back, double the reward. Move out!" And you see all of these forces, the hill giants, just begin to pick up the just handfuls of sheep, and sheep are starting to freak out. And I mean the thank you. The cows are starting to get really just terrified, but these forces immediately just begin to surround them, and basically any animal that steps out of line is now corralled in this just horrible nightmare of a corralling force. Shalvus in the midst of them. Shalvus looks up and says, okay, hey, so, like, what's the plan here? What's the plan?
Are they taking the ale?
Yes, yeah, you can see that they're moving forward, and one of the hill giants picks up one of the barrels, and looks like it's about to sort of take it, but this lead bugbear says, "Hey, that's for GUH! Don't you touch a morsel of it, and she will reward you tenfold." The giant's puts it underneath her armpit. Shalvus, hey, you promised. What's the plan?
You're free to go. Shivas, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Thibodeau, do we want them to take this or to eat it? Maybe,
I don't know.
Let's have
I mean,
oh no! All this is for you. This is a we're sorry. We were hoping that you could eat as an I'm sorry for your casualties in the previous battle, and then once you've had your fill, well, we
Jestán immediately puts his hand over Captain Chowder's construct of a mouth and just goes shh, and whispers to him. If we kill GUH, the rest of them are done. They'll flee without a leader.
Okay. So is this enough poison to kill GUH?
Aye.
Okay, give it to GUH. Give it to GUH. Oh, you know what? You know what? This is for GUH. Give it to GUH, and then we do have a gift for you. We're working on it. Come back for that one. I'm so sorry.
And that's from all of us.
That's from all of us. Thank you. Thank you. My mistake.
Jestán is just shaking his head and looking at the ground, uncertain how he ended up with these clowns.
Yep.
Oh, you know, Jestán, you remind me of. Oh no, Worthy's here. Never mind.
All right. So you guys now see this force surrounding Shalvus. And Shalvus, now one of the giants picks up Shalvus and takes Shalvus and just throws her over their shoulder. And Shalvus looks to you and says, "You promised. You fucking promised." As the force begins to take this cash and move east along the walls of Golden Fields.
Jestán realizes that they can't let Shalvus say anything, because if Shalvus does, the plan could be revealed. And so Jestán does speak giant and ogre and yells out to them, "That tasty one's for you." Shalvus doesn't speak that, and so probably doesn't know that he said that, I assume.
Say it in giant.
I say it in giant.
Hell yeah. Oh my god.
The giant
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm now
Takes
vegetarian.
Shalvus.
So who knows?
and just by the legs throws
Oh my
Shalvus
God.
into their mouth and crushes her.
Where's Gruyere?
Gruyere flies into the air and
Great.
then just bamfs out of existence as a familiar would.
Okay. Yes.
And the giant just begins and finishes Shalvus in totality. All of you look to Jestán, who spoke in giant. A few of you speak giant, a few of you don't. And anybody who does speak giant knows what Jestán said. Maxine.
Jestán looks at the group and just says, "Bon appetit."
Worthy speaks giant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chowder speaks giant. Pretty raw deal there, but well.
It's at this point that Z taps you on the shoulder, Thibodeau, and says, if we follow him, I think that we can figure out where GUH is. Looks to you, Jestán, and says, what do you say? And that's where we're going to have our episode end for this week. We avoided a 40-on-40 battle outside of the gates of Golden Fields. I am both relieved and only mildly disappointed. You guys did some fantastic work and some nice rolls. Let's give another warm thank you to Josh Legg, aka Goldroom, for providing just such incredible music. And
The sixth or seventh familiar.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
losing count.
I see so many. I want to
Absolutely.
thank all of you for playing D&D with me, but I especially want to thank you for watching and listening. It is a great joy to bring this to you, and we can't wait to bring you more content as time goes on. Until then, tell a friend, subscribe to us on Patreon, hit us up on Instagram, and no matter what, know that our intent is all for your delight. Thank you so much for watching.